matter. It's a civil matter. You need to, our goal here is to create an inquiry so we can go to court.
Hey, Uncle, where's Brian Fujiuchi, the guy initiating all this?
Yes. Here. With my officer for me filing a police report against you. You, any police officer will be found in violation of our human and land rights under Article 8.2 one time of pillaging under the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court. Second violation, 1907 Hague Convention, IV. Third violation, you guys ain't know, 1949 Geneva Convention. Last one, commission of felonies under U.S. law on 18th century.
There wasn't all these houses here when I grew up. This is all aina yet. Right here, Wainiha, born and raised. My son brought some from all kinds of.
Aloha kako is makana. Been working over here with the Baras for about 7 years planting kalo. And, we've been waiting for this day for 7 years already. And I see my brothers taken away. And all I have to say is, this is exactly how the system wins. It's to divide and conquer. They're getting local brothers to destroy our local food systems. So, I'm here to bear witness.
For the police, we have the right to file police reports. We want to file. We all know that. We want to. Anyone else that get arrested?
What is the cause? What is his charges? What is his charges, sir? Officer. What is his charges?
What are the charges?
What is the charges of his arrest?
What are the charges?
What's his charges?
Disorderly conduct. Wait, before you arrest me, prisoners of war. Yeah, you cannot do that.
I was written by Hermosura, talking about the Kahalelani shells. Yeah. How are you doing, Felicia?
Good.
You know that we have to like barricade the lo'i and our boundary there, you know, keep them out of our lo'i. They even try to come to the neighbor's yard and it's legal, you know, the cops over there assisting them to try to come around to the neighbor's yard and make a hole through and come and excavate and bulldoze. So.
I've known you for a very long time, and I know even in your childhood, you went through an experience of where your family home went through this whole drama.
Yeah, you know, so it's kind of like the regulars for me, and you know, I've learned a lot of stuff along the way, and just, you know, it's just lessons and ha'avinas and, you know, ololo no'ial's wise ways of living and understanding, and just kind of like just make sure to be balanced and find the pono side of things. So.
And when I watch what you do on a regular basis, you're part of the Namahoe, you help with the Po'oku Heo. There's many areas of culture where you work tirelessly to keep it strong in Pono.
Oh, you know, it's just a part of the family lineage and our customs, and just, you know, we're like, how she said, like still living that way, you know. We never stopped living that way all because of but even though there's been a lot of oppression and suppression and, you know, colonization onto our, you know, ways of life. So we still continue, we still live the way we live. We never change, and you know, it's a struggle every day for us, but not, you know, because we know how to gather and we know how to live, and this is our aina. our families are deeply rooted in here, and you know, we just this is something that's part of us.
And
daily.
even last year, you have officiated at young people's life blessing services after they've left this life, and I watch you mentoring very constructively a lot of young men.
Yeah, you know, like growing up together, and we have a lot of warriors, men and women, you know, and then we all have grown up years together and learned together. So it's just a process of the ahupua'a living, I guess, you know, the village, the family, and you know, we all get our parts. We all have a position. It's equal. We you know, not one person is higher than the other. It's a kako thing, you know. And this is how we always live. And you know, for us, we've been organizing, manifesting this kind of lifestyle, authority for our lands and everything from a long time already, and just manifesting, you know, the good things and live
So-
our Pono kingdom, Hawaiian kingdom ways, you know.
So can you tell us the story of this particular piece of land?
But then this is actually an ancient royal pattern, so yeah, but this remains in the family, but the whole basic thing about it is just a lo'i. Okay? And here, the lo'i, anywhere the lo'i is not to be disturbed because it's just a protected in perpetuity. We're passed down to the generations and they haven't even come yet. These areas are to remain as lo'i. Me, designated by my family, and Ohana and friends, as who I am, and powers that be that I hold from Akua and everyone else giving me my blessings, we were guided and asserted by our families and kupunas to malama, not only this area, but everywhere else that we can, especially if there's genealogical ties, and if it's a lo'i, it doesn't make a difference if it's on the other side of the road, it's still a lo'i. And our interest is in the lo'i.
Right, we're seeing the persistent gentrification of the community and the traditional lands and the way of life. And so as these places, this could easily be turned into an estate. Do you know anything about the current landowner?
Yes, I do. Her name is Katrina Mariner. She hasn't even been here to hear our side of the story. We've tried negotiating with her. She lives on the East Coast. Pretty much they're just buying lands and, you know, they're making capital on it and just grabbing it and selling it, you know, and like there is an illegality within the taxation of the area and the properties, and you know, it was you know, pretty clear that this place was sold illegally yesterday with the mayor and Mauna Kea Trust. And how did they do this, and why are there these things? And that's why these things are arising, because all these things are coming to front to address and, you know, be dealt with.
And the word on the street is that this owner is not even a citizen of the United States. Do you know if that's accurate? People are saying Russian, but is that correct?
Yeah, it's correct. She's actually, you know, a Russian girl, family that's living on the East Coast, and
But with not an even American citizenship?
I'm not too sure about
Okay.
that. But yeah, they're Russian descent, and you know, but you know, for them they're kind of like belligerent and ignorant of the situation because they're just living out there, you know, and they just talk to realtors and hire private investigators, and this is what happened.
Because what I'm curious about is, was this land sold while you guys were already stewarding this piece of property? Did they know? Because that seems like it should be on the DROA of the property. One of the disclaimers is that if land is in dispute. Was this sold with you guys living here and caretaking for it?
Okay, well, yeah, I guess so. If you want to see that, they did sell this area. Even, you know, the whole reason why this is all happening is because they bought this area after we've been on it, but our family's been on it all the time. Because the whole thing about this bank embankment right here is the easement to the burial sites. So we have rights and we have access rights to the burial sites. And yes, there is burial sites over here. And if you guys don't know and you guys don't live in Wainiha and you don't know where the burial sites, you guys should come over here and get educated. And you know, there's specialists and people out there claiming that there's no burial sites here, but that's totally false. You know, and on top of that, this is a lo'i. And if you guys look on the other property next door, it's all flattened out. There's remnants of rock walls. Things has been pillaged and stolen.
All the way up to the top of the valley.
All the way.
there's those rock
This valley
No,
is
no
registered for this national on the national registry for its
Historic?
ditches and aways and streams, and most of all, its lo'is, one of the most complex places in Hawaii.
And then how big is the property here in question that these people own?
Well, these people own about 6 acres.
They own about 6 acres?
Yeah, as you can see, this little sliver here, though, you see all these banana trees, and then there's a little fence line there. You know, they actually put up that fence line because we were farming already on here after they grubbed it to save the rock walls and save the burial sites.
So they bought this. So that's the thing that's very important for me to be able to know is
Yes.
was there informed awareness? I mean, I guess was there awareness by the realtors selling this property that there was a claim and a sacredness about this piece, that there were people living on it and cultivating it? That happened before it sold the last time.
I'm pretty sure, yes. It's been pretty clear, well known. We've been here for, you know, I grew up here my whole life. And this spot was always a spot our families gathered. And, you know, this is the last little sliver in Wainiha Valley that they grow kalo, you know. And everyone comes here to harvest and do what they need to do here. It's a family thing, you know. But, yes, they erected this fence long after these banana trees were planted. These are sacred endangered banana trees. It's a federal offense to remove a lot of these native plants growing in here.
Because it's the species.
It's a species and they're endangered.
Let's walk closer to the bananas because I see that the bananas have the purple stalk. Not everybody is aware of how many different varieties of kalo, maya, bananas, all the different plant life. It's about this section 106. So I see that you have these things posted well up. What does section 106 mean for people who don't understand?
Section 106 is pretty much a consultation process with the Native Hawaiians.
And it's a federal law,
It's
correct?
a federal law under the NHPA, National Historic Preservation Act. I'm sworn in as a Konahiki Tribal Historic Preservation Officer with other Konahikis and Tribal Preservation Officers for other ahupua'as on the island of Kauai. It's in partnerships with the Department of Interior and 78 other agencies, federal agencies. And it's to protect the interests of the native people, tenants, and their interests to the lo'i.
And you were arrested here 2 days ago.
Yes, I was arrested here, and they have been notified, and I'm actually registered as a Konahiki Tribal Historic Preservation Officer, working in good faith with KPD, Kauai Police Department, the DLNR, Department of Natural Resources, and the Department of Interior. You know, so it's about educating everybody of what position and what power they have and who are they working with. It's so belligerent and out in the open and scattered. I don't think everyone knows their roles and how to protect the people.
And there was an incredible show of force here on Tuesday when you were arrested. It appeared a completely non-resistive, non-violence when you were arrested. No running away. What was your charges?
My charges were just a disorderly conduct. But you know, as you can see in the videos, there was no disorderly conduct. We were trying to negotiate with the powers that be and show them our claim and exercise our rights. And they haven't. They gave us no alleviation. They went straight to the point of assisting an illegal operation that's about to occur.
Who called the police?
We're not too sure about the police, but this person named Brian Fujiuchi, and he is the private investigator that works for the landowner. He is the one who conducted out the meetings and arranged the excavation crew, and also arranged the police, pretty sure, and
Now,
KPD to come here. He's actually an ex-police chief himself.
He was the police chief.
Yes.
I remember when you were a child.
He's retired.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we negotiated with him, and I'm pretty sure he knows the rights that we have because he's been long in the business about lo'i. And this is about our interest to the lo'i. You
Okay.
cannot pillage, damage the lo'i. It's against international criminal court rules ICCs against many Hawaii Revi statues, and that's also breaking many United States constitutional laws. And I'm pretty sure they're aware of this. We have been serving them for years already. They have got our docket number with the Pacific Command, with the DLNR, with all the agencies, 78 federal agencies, and now everybody's just been notified and aware of, this is kind of a blessing in disguise, because it brings everything to light, and in a way educates everyone of what's really going on and what's their affiliation to the people. And and then all that kind of like how should you say, police brutality and harassment and aggravation is like totally not needed for all these peace-loving families and people that's here trying to protect their interests to the lo'i.
My observation on Tuesday was that the police weren't enjoying the task. Like when I was here, what I saw, it's a tough thing, and the chain of command, like the mayor doesn't actually have control over the police department. Is that what was shared with you yesterday?
Somewhat, in the way he does, like in the way he does it, I guess they can negotiate things, and they're trying to alleviate problems. And for us, that was a beautiful thing that we came to, was an understanding that there needs to be a safety issue, and we need to be sure that the SWAT team and all those kind of things are like closely regulated, and it's just totally not needed for peace-loving people.
Dan Ahuna from the Office of Hawaiian Affairs, he was here as well.
Yes, they're here as well, and what makes it really interesting is, and a lot of them, they're all family to these areas that we're trying to protect. And yesterday, and like I say, sometimes there might be a little aggravation, sometimes there might be hesitation, and people get angry, but this is all blessings in disguise in a way, because this brings everything to the light. How can you not be protecting your kupuna when this very land is where they walk and what we're trying to protect our interests of for the people? So
yes.
Therefore, the energy was really, how should I say it, very pono and balanced yesterday, where we all came to a place of aloha and understanding that yes, there needs things to be fixed with our Department of
Land and Natural
Resources, the KPD, how we react with our people, and most of all, how are we going to go about the process of obtaining the truth and the titles that belong to us by kuleana, perpetuity, and all of these interests, most of all to the lo'i that we have. These are laws. These are things that are set in foundation for a very long time by our families and people, and written constitutions, treaties. These things are to be enforced.
And for people who don't understand about lo'i, that falls under the traditional and customary practices as being held sacred even by the Hawaii State Constitution.
As rights of a human being to protect your interests of food, to survive, to eat, to consume, and also just to live.
And with extra protection that this is the traditional cultural history, the Kanaka Mo'oli, Hawaiian native.
Correct.
Right. Like I think you have an extra layer of protection over people maybe who don't have that generational lineage to the land.
Well, that's why it's all about saving this kind of, saving these areas and protecting these areas. It's about educating everyone, sharing, and most of all, participating in the cultivation and knowing how to do it. But when it's destroyed and it's all messed up and it's desecrated, it's called the rundown of the food system.
And how is your optimism for what tomorrow presents? What is the plan? What do you think?
Well,
what are you expecting?
We're playing this cat and mouse game of the excavators, who are actually relatives as well. Are they going to be coming or not to bulldoze? And then they say they're not, but then they are. But then are we waiting for a word and standing by and people just gathering? But we're trying to set this thing in motion and settle this thing by creating some kind of document or a written resolution of, one, to ensure that the grubbing and excavations is going to be stopped until further notice, until things are settled, until things are made clear in Pono with all the county agencies and federal agencies and that may be involved. So this is actually a precedence for the rest of Hawaii to in a way to bring these things to light. And these are questions that families and Hawaiians and people alike had for a very long time. And how do we go about going and doing this? And yesterday was a very powerful spiritual day, as we all gathered as family, and even with other politicians and governmental, agencies and everyone there wearing their different hats. We all came together as family to assert what is the right thing to do.
It's wonderful to hear that we are coming to good practices, and at a spiritual level, I think you are emerging as a spiritual leader in this community. Do you have, from a heart frame of love, a message to the people, particularly even Kanaka people, who work within the real estate industry, of how best to practice their craft in a way that is pono?
Ooh, well, like for my expectations yesterday, I was a little, how should I say it, having a different mindset and of where we're gonna end with, how we're gonna end with, having something in writing that we all can sign, a document or a resolution written by everyone, of what's the process. What's the system that we're going to create? How do we go about doing this? Is creating a pamphlet, creating the summary, creating a law to protect our interests to lo'i. How creating a system in their system about how do we go about finding our kuleana lands for people and families who don't know. How do we go about obtaining our interests to them? And just basic information, and how do we register, and education for the people, how to do that. And it's by law, and it's their right. And on top of that, for them to stop the desecration themselves, the realtors, to know what is pono, know what is right, and understand that the Kingdom of Hawaii still exists, and their titles are fraudulent. And they cannot sell the lo'i, which they have been, and these are sacred places. As a spiritual person and leader of our community and our families, it's very, how should you say it, makes me do a lot of work when people come to me asking me and telling me that they have spiritual troubles and spiritual problems. One of that is the reason is because some things are to be sacred all the time, especially our lo'is, our rocks, our pohaku, our burial sites, and most of all, just our people. So this is where it all stops. This is where the lie stops. I'm calling all you guys, all the realtors and companies. This is where the families come back and balance comes back to our people. You guys have stole, and you guys have pillaged, you guys have raped, you guys have lied, you guys have ripped off, you guys made all you guys money. That all stops now. As kahuna, as konohiki, as a light healer, I bless this energy to be unfolded and manifested in prosperity and harmony for all of us. Therefore, your business, therefore the mentality, and therefore that energy has to be corrected. Stop. You as a person, a human being, find the right way, find the right solution, do the right thing for the children of Hawaii, all of us. Eo na pua o Hawaii. Answer the children of Hawaii. Do you care? Is there light in your heart? Are you a soul of being? Are you a human being existing in this lifetime now, clearing your karmas with your ancestral lineage, clearing your karmas with other ancestors that we have, doing what's right to the land, because that's where we come from. Halo alau kapulili okiko, the breath of life, our people, our cosmology, our way of life. We are existing. We are the ones to correct and the keepers of heaven. So do the right thing. I ask you, I beg you, I inform you, I aloha you. Mahalo ke akua.
And to the people who might buy this land somewhere in this thing, can you just tell us briefly a little bit of what makes Wainiha Ahupua'a a sacred place? What makes Wainiha special? Maybe people don't even know what it is that is Wainiha.
Well, Wainiha is a very sacred place.
Of Kauai, yeah.
The whole island, but it's one of the largest valleys on Kauai, and somewhat the larger valleys of Hawaii. It's a very old place. Many different life forms have existed here, from Menihuni to Mu to other, people. Our families have existed here for a long time. I'm a lineage to this place. Many of us are lineage to this place, and the teachings of these areas are sacred, where people would come and learn sacred navigation skills. They would learn cosmology, genealogy. They would learn, how should you say it, kahuna practices, la'au lapa'au, healing. This is a kula nui, it's a university. This was a place where the Tainui tribe and the Te Arawa, many different tribes that went off to later settle in New Zealand. Builders of canoes, lord of canoes. These are places of royalty where they're hidden, where they're raised to make sure aloha is passed on generation to generation. These are places of our families. Wainiha, if you look it up, means turbulent waters or tough waters or angry waters. That's because of the river. It's because of the abundance of rain. I flourished in this river as a stream. As an animal inside this river, I've been there. All my family, everyone alike. We have many families who are very traditional and unique, and beautiful customs, yes, do they have. Beautiful skills and ways of life. These families, not only the families here, but all around is like, they're the keepers of our ways. And without their aina, without the lo'i, without their space to do their magic, to create food in abundance for our people, and for the world to know and understand, to learn. How may we learn when we do not have our classroom? How may we learn when things are desecrated that was once sacred? How may we learn when we're under threat all the time and we have to live like that, on your toes, and at the same time provide and be content? The desecration must stop.
Thank you for your mana'o.
Mahalo.
This is their zone, This is our kuko. So.
Yeah. At one point, this right here is a result of the keiki not being able to come maintain the land because out of fear to be arrested. Because at one point we had this all immaculate and full of taro, but like all this time, all this get this one patches growing. Right. But because all this since last year, we've been under threat of like arrest. I mean, last year we were first getting notices, but into this year, in the last couple months, there's been cops already coming. Inside the taro patch here in Wainiha, the Kuleana Kiva'a Rail Patent 6642, Land Commission Award 9270. And so, I just want to share with you guys a little bit of mana'o that us guys have been learning and whatnot. So Wainiha Ahupua. It's to my knowledge, is one of the biggest valleys in this whole Mokupuni, this whole island. It goes to the depths, all the way to Waialeale, Alaka'i Swamp. And used to be under Chiefess Kika'o Nohi, was the ali'i that was held under her name, this whole valley, excepting all the Kuleana. So, as you guys can see, from here where we stay, we got all our bananas, and we're in the overgrown lo'i. You can see some taro growing out of the grass. But this is our pu'uhonua. This is our safe place for ohanas and the keiki to come and just, root themselves in the aina and ground themselves in a pono place where we can all come learn and just connect ourselves with our kupuna and with our brother Haloa, our ohana. It's part of our mo'u kuauhao. This is our genealogy, this Papa Wakia. So as you guys can see, we got houses. We're surrounded by all houses. This is one vacation rental, and so I'll share with you guys. The so-called owner who bought this property, she owns this house too. Her name is Katrina Marner. She's a Russian. They're a Russian family that lives in South Carolina, and they have no interest in coming and living on this land. Their only interest is to capitalize, and they like sell and make their money. And you know, so this house is for sale right now. It's on the market, and basically, you know, it's up for grabs for any foreigner to come over here and buy the house and bring their other ways of life and lifestyles to come and stomp out our ways that we try and just preserve one little piece of our life and culture. And you know, Wainiha means the turbulent waters, you know, the rough waters. This place, Wai Ale, the rippling waters, is the wettest place in the world right here. When this place rain, this place will flood. We stay in flood lands right here. This is all wet. This is all flood zone. This is all wetland. This place goes underwater when the rains come. That's why this house stay up high too. They make scared for the tidal wave coming and the floods. But you know, all these houses is all in taro patches. This is all old lo'is right here. Not even that long ago, back in the 40s and 50s, there was still all the awai coming from up the road, had the manu up the road. The water came down the road, down right alongside the road up here by where we got arrested. And yeah, I was one of the ones who got detained. There was 4 of us who got arrested trying to protect this property. And you know, they desecrated the awai back in like the 40s and 50s. So now no more running water. And that's, as you can see, but it's still one lo'i. But you know, right here on the side, and I would like to show you guys, this is the drainage awai. The awai comes all through here, and it makes its way to Wainiha River. Wainiha River is only close. On the other side of this parcel, this aina where we stay, the Wainiha River is like not even 100 yards away on the other side of that whole bush over there. All those big trees. Behind that, we stay by the river already. And so, you know, everybody must be wondering too, because you know, one of the talk was about, oh, burials. Yeah, so let's talk about the burials. So, to my knowledge, from back in the day, used to have the old churchyard up on the hill up here. Get plenty kupuna buried all in this area, especially all up on the ridge, all still gravestones, all marked graves and whatnot. But the alaloa is the ancient trail system. They used to run from the churchyard and come down through this place. And the alaloa used to run through this kuleana, through this piece aina right here. And all the kupuna used to walk, and they would come maintain all the graves all the way through. They go through the valley, they make their way. There's graves all over this place. And I would like to show you guys where, to our knowledge, we know there is marked graves in this place. And we're trying to clean the graves. And as you see that brown house back there, the owner of that, this is a vacation rental, by the way, that brown house back there. The owner got all excited because he's seen us cleaning by his aina, which was actually the graves. Us boys was coming from malama the graves. And next thing you know, he go and hire all kind of guys on the other side of this pile of bushes that they piled up all on the bank, all on the pohaku. They had go put one fence, and all the way to them, they put the fence post right where the graves stay. And I wish I could take you through there for show you the desecration they did. But you know, that is marked kind. There's corals and stuff, and it's gnawing. There's the bank, there's the coconut trees they planted by the graves, the Iwi kupuna, you know. And from kupuna records, they say there's Iwis all over this place. And yes, and even if there somehow wasn't, it's still, this is our taro patch. It's the lo'i. Everybody, they getting all excited about land title. Guess what? Nobody owned the land. Us guys, it's our interest stay in the lo'i, in the taro patch. This is where we stand, in the lo'i. This right here, this is one rare variety of banana. This is one type of iholena. There's only probably less than 500 types of this in the world. It's on federal crime for take out an endangered species. You know, we over here propagating and trying to protect all our sacred you know, mea kanu, and this is all part of our genealogy too. This is kino lao of our gods, and from all this place, you know, it's who we are. And if they gonna take this from us, then I don't know what we gonna do.
I think too, Jess, it's interesting that here you have a beautiful home that's maybe occupied maybe 2 weeks out of the year.
It's empty.
or
It's
or
empty.
yeah, in this case, like you had mentioned earlier, and so many of these sit empty. So if they continue to pursue and push you and our ohana out of this area, this is what the future will look like.
Yeah,
Yet another standing structure.
You can see one of those right where we standing.
Yep.
And that's what all these taro lands is gonna end up. This is some of the primest taro lands in the world. All over Hawaii, but we stay here in Kauai, from all Halelea, the you know, the House of Joy. Wainiha, this is all the valley floors. This is where all the nutrients and everything gather, all the water come down here. And you know, if they're gonna take away all our place for be sustainable, then how the rest of the world gonna make it if we no can make it here on the Garden Island? I don't know. That is one big trip. If us Kanakas no can make it here on the Garden Island and make abundance, then I don't know if the rest of the world gonna be abundant. So we better figure it out. We gotta kako each other, and we gotta unify, come together, and kapu aloha, and just hold the mana and the light and do what is right.